Department has given an initial green light to a weapons deal with Taiwan. China, however, says the potential trade agreement worth the billions of dollars could undermine its sovereignty. The Pentagon and Taiwanese officials have defended the move.
This proposed sale will support the foreign policy and national security of the US by helping to improve the security and defensive capability of the recipient, an important force for political stability, military balance, and economic progress in the region.
Taiwan will speed up investment on defense and continue to deepen security ties with the United States and countries with similar ideas.
Okay, let's go through what we know about this. Then American lawmakers have 30 days to make a final decision on the deal. If agreed upon, Taiwan will receive over 100 modernized tanks and also 250 air defense missiles. That, along with other weapons, takes the total bill to $2.2 billion. Now, the island of Taiwan has a complicated history, with Taipei being ruled autonomously and separately from China since the end of the Chinese Civil War in 1949. Now, Taiwan as a state is officially recognized by only 18 countries, not by any major global powers as well. China claims sovereignty over the territory, and therefore Beijing sees international interference as a domestic threat.
The sale of weapons by the United States to Taiwan seriously violates the One China principle, grossly interferes in China's internal affairs, and undermines China's sovereignty and security interests. China urges the US to immediately cancel the planned arms sale and stop military relations with Taipei to avoid damaging Sino-US relations and harming peace and stability in the Taiwan Strait.
Okay, let's go live now to Andrew Long, a specialist in a lot of things, but for our purposes today, we're going to concentrate on that region and China in particular. Good to see you. How would arms sales to Taiwan help to ensure the region's security? Because that is what the Pentagon is arguing here.
Well, from the point of view of the United States, Taiwan is not just Taiwan, it's part of a chessboard of Asia-Pacific security for the United States, in which the United States seeing itself as being dominant, and that dominance is being challenged by the rising China. So under the Indo-Pacific strategy, where Taiwan plays a part, the United States is going to strengthen the military capabilities of some of its allies together with Taiwan, Australia, of course Japan, and other areas in other countries in the area. But as far as the law is concerned, although the United States pays lip service to the One China policy, there is the Taiwan Relations Act, which legitimizes, legalizes this arms sales. And in addition to arms sales, the United States is trumping up the diplomatic exchanges at a high level, sending senior officials to visit Taiwan and inviting senior officials from Taiwan to visit the United States. So the idea is to create Taiwan as a kind of unsinkable aircraft carrier, as a kind of a fortress to contain China. So I think that the arms sales must be seen in that context, as far as the United States is concerned.
It's about the deeds, isn't it? The actions more than the words here. To what extent does the potential sale undermine Washington's, therefore, official position that Taiwan is a part of China?
Well, it can still pay lip service to that, because the United States doesn't recognize Taiwan under the United Nations as a separate country. So he can say that he respects the One China policy. And of course, but on the other hand, is strengthening the military capabilities of Taiwan. But that is in accordance with the Taiwan Relations Act. And you look at Taiwan itself, most of the people don't want unification. There is no mileage for that at all. But I think most of on the other hand, there are 1 million Taiwanese businessmen living and operating the businesses inside China on the mainland. And these people are unlikely to welcome a situation where the apple cart is being upset. So I think you have a kind of pushback against both sides, and China, of course, creating, projecting its influence in the South China Sea, creating fortified islands out of sandbanks, and so as to guard the passage of its trade and importation of energy and resources, and also expanding its navy.
All right, Shalom. This is Knocks on Bon Yasharala from the Lions Den of Yasharala Camp. First and foremost, I'd like to say Ka Halayim La Yahweh, Ba Hashem Yahweh Shai, Ba Hashem Yahweh Kakadash Ma'amah. Double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone, and salutations to the Akim that are pushing the truth and sincerity and truth, and peace and blessings to the men, women, and children that believe in the name of Yahweh Ba Hashem Yahweh Shai. All right, so this is doing a little quick brief lesson on this video. And the topic is dealing with China urging the United States to immediately cancel arms sale to Taiwan. All right, so what you have happening here is the same thing, kind of sort of the same thing, but with the thing with NATO and Ukraine, they weren't selling arms or weapons to Ukraine. They were trying to really stop Russia from annexing Ukraine, because the EU and NATO rather were using Ukraine to be at the back door of Russia, and United States is doing this arms deal with Taiwan so they could be at the back door of China. And what this is doing is well, basically, the reason why America is doing that is because the United States dominance is being tested by an upcoming and growing China. So then, not only that, you have North Korea coming on the rise. So now, the dominance that once was over there in the South China Sea isn't as dominant anymore because these other nations are upping in their military arsenal and looking at America like, well, we got the same thing you got. Let's get it. Let's do it. As a matter of fact, let me get Joel 3:9. It says, "Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles: prepare war, wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. Beat your plowshares into pruning hooks." So you got a whole bunch of nuclear arms races going on right now, and military arms races going on right now to see who can stockpile the most weapons and have the best. Not only get the most weapons, but have the best quality of weapons out there on the market. All right, and you have either these smaller nations that are doing it, like Taiwan. It says it's a state represented by 18 other states, not really a territory unto anybody, but by the United States doing what they're doing, it does mess with the sovereignty and the state of security of China. And that's why Russia was so adamant about keeping Ukraine, because it's the same reason. Like if NATO or the EU takes over Ukraine, then Russia's pretty much fucked. All right, same thing right here. If America builds that military force relationship, that's the answer to China building that military island over the South China Sea. All right, so you have all these things coming together to bring forth what? War. All right, so America's trying to use smoke and mirrors and different types of things to try to prove that military dominance that they once had, but they don't have it anymore. All right. Joel 3:10 says, "Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong." All right, and that's what you're seeing right now. So, and then you have America like, "Hey, Taiwan, you could be strong too. Let us help you out. Hey, check this out." But all that's gonna, let me get one more scripture dealing with the strength of America failing and these other nations becoming strong. All right, this is Isaiah chapter 14. All right. Um, where is it? All right, Isaiah chapter 14, verse 10. It says, "All they shall speak and say unto thee, Art thou also become weak as we? Art thou become like unto us?" Because you see the forcefulness of America slowly depreciating. The world dominance that America once had slowly depreciating. Not even slowly, it's quick. It's happening real quick. All right. Nobody thinks America is the number one dominant powerhouse nation anymore. It's a city of unwalled villages, and these other nations are starting to see that. All right. So, all right. So basically, America is using Taiwan as a fortress to be at the back door of the United States, man. All right. Because it uses every alleyway or every avenue that it can use. America is not the so-called white man is not the type that's gonna keep, stay put where he's at. Once he, so he took America from the Native Americans, our brothers Reuben and Gad and Issachar, and um he didn't stop there. All right. Let me get Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 3. It says, "For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry." All right. So the the vision of Babylon the Great is being exposed, but the full manifestation of it is for an appointed time set by Yahweh by Shem Yahushai. All right. All right. Verse 4, it says, "Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by faith." And who are the just? The elect of the children of Israel. It said, "Yea, also because he transgresses by wine, he is a proud man." And who is he talking about? He's talking about Esau. And you see the pride of Esau through America, man. All right. It says, "He is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlarges his desires as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people." And that's another case that you're seeing of America doing that right here with this situation. All right. Trying to put Taiwan in their back pocket. All right. And to impose its will on China, indirectly and subliminally, so using sorcery. All right, so what it's doing is affecting the relationship between the United States and China. And why would you really want to disrupt that if you're America, knowing that you owe China billions and billions of dollars because China bought all the debt of America? Because as soon as they let that debt go, it's over for America. So why would why would you want to just disrupt? Why? Because America is dumb. All right. That's just it. All right, I'm gonna get one more scripture and to close it out. It's Obadiah 1:3. It says, "The pride of thine heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwelleth in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, Who shall bring me down to the ground?" All right, talking about the so-called white man, but you can see the arrogancy and the pride of the so-called white man through America. All right. Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, there you go, keyword eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith the Lord. And another thing with that, like America uses all types of witchcraft and sorcery to manipulate the minds of these other nations, like the whole moon travel incident or moon landing. They fake that just to get all the majority of all these other nations spending money on the space program versus their military. All right. It's a funny little new Red Bull commercial where they couldn't touch the ground on the moon. They say, "All right, just come back to the studio. We'll reenact it there." You know, Esau put stuff out there subliminally, man. It says, verse 5. It says, if I'm gonna skip down to close it out with no, I'm not. No, I'm not. Verse 5, it says, if thieves came to thee, if robbers by night, how art thou cut off? Would thou not have stolen till they had enough? If the grape gatherers came to thee, would they not leave some grapes? So Esau, he's the type of individual, if he's carrying a whole bunch of stuff in his hand, and it's too much for him to carry, Slakia, and he drops some, he's going to double back and come get what he dropped. He's not going to leave nothing for anybody, and he still won't be satisfied. He's going to go around looking for more. That's the mentality of America and the Edom. All right? It says, how are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? All right? Because the Most High revealeth those things to us. All right? All right, this is Amos chapter 3, verse 6. It says, shall a trumpet be blown in the city, and the people not be afraid? Shall there be an evil in the city, and the Lord hath not done it? Surely the Lord will do nothing, but he revealeth his secrets unto the servants, the prophets. So that's how we are able to get to search out the devices and wickedness of Esau, man. All right, I'm going to close it out with this. Obadiah 1:7 says, all the men of thy confederacy, because China is supposed to be an ally of the United States, right? Have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevaileth against thee. They that eat thy bread shall have laid a wound under thee. There is no understanding in him. And you got all these nations turning against America, even the one that set them up, NATO. Britain, because what the scripture say, thy mother shall hate thee. All right, so and that's gonna be, and then all these nations are gonna turn on America, and and that's how it's gonna go down, man. Thus saith the Lord, and there's no understanding in him; he doesn't see it coming. And with that being said, I'd like to say, Kal Halayim La Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Harakakodash Ma'amah. Double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone, and salutations to the occupant that are pushing the truth, the sincerity, and truth, and peace and blessing to the men, women, and children that believe in the name of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. Shalom.